Hi guys, Squirrel here, and look what I'm parked next to. The Iveco Stralis Highway Truck of the Year 2013. Very nice. It's nowhere near as good as the Scania, of course, but you know. I don't even like the colour scheme, if I'm honest, but I'm assured it is Truck of the Year, even though the Scania should always be Truck of the Year in my opinion. That's personal preference. So we are playing, well, by the time you watch this, it should already be out, but I have Going East DLC, as you can see over here. All of this is currently unexplored. I've been into it a little bit. If you watched the live stream I did with Pavel, I went down to Krakow down here, and yeah, I've got all this to discover. So I've just picked up a job, which is going to take us over a bit more of this Going East territory. So we should see some beautiful scenery. You'll be seeing it first along with myself. Let me just reset my track IO there. There we go. And I also have a rather nice, I have to say, trailer pack installed, which I really think that you should check out. I've been suitably impressed. Let me put the map back on. I've been suitably impressed by it, and it is about half a gig unpacked, about 500 meg or so. But as you can see, there's a trailer straight away. It basically makes the game feel a hell of a lot more realistic. You get some really good trailers, and not just kind of interesting trailers, but I mean real company type trailers. DHL, and you'll see it as we drive around. It's pretty impressive. So Going East is the first DLC, of course, from SCS Software for their own game, and Mr. Pavel, who's, if you don't know who Mr. Pavel is by now, then you've probably been living under a rock, or certainly not watching my videos anyway. But Pavel is, of course, the CEO of SCS Software, makers of this game, and they've released the first DLC. He did explain at great length why it took so long. Look at this, FedEx. FedEx! We don't do Euro goodies and all this crap round here anymore. We do FedEx. Let's take this job. This is the first DLC, and it has confirmed at least. There we go, there's a FedEx. Look, we can actually take FedEx from a FedEx building. But we're not. We're going to take a DHL trailer from a FedEx building. I'm not sure if they've been doing some weird deal with DHL, but I'll admit that's a little bit odd. So the Going East DLC, of course, that's not it. There it is. Glass. Oh god. If you watch the live stream, you'll know all about glass. Basically, everybody in the live stream was trying to get me to take a load of a trailer full of glass around the Scania test track and just floor it. I did end up taking my Scania around the Scania test track and hilariously flipped the Scania. There we go. Trailer safe. Hilariously flipped the Scania. And whilst interviewing Nico, Nico is the guy who made the Pro Mod map pack. Now, interestingly enough, I am running both mods at the moment, which, true to form, Nico did say that it would be compatible with Going East, and he was correct. So I'm very, very happy to confirm to you that I have both Pro Mod and Going East installed. As you'll see, if I just bring up the map, you'll see exactly what I mean. Look at this. The Euro trucking world just gets bigger and bigger. All of this up here is Pro Mod territory. Oh, unlocks all of Scandinavia. If you've not got Pro Mod, then I don't know why. I seriously don't know why. If you've got TSM, which obviously brings all of this stuff down here, it's not compatible. Pro Mod and TSM do not work with each other. As of now, I do not know if TSM is compatible with Going East, but I can say that Pro Mod is compatible with Going East. And if you're not using TSM, then I strongly suggest that you get Pro Mod and the Going East DLC. Now, if you're a little bit strapped for cash and you can't afford the Going East DLC, because it is about, I don't know, £9, £10, something like that. Probably about $14, $15, I guess, don't quote me, rough figures. If you can't afford it, then I do have some Going East keys to give away in my next Euro Truck stream. So again, if you're not following me on Twitch, then get over to twitch.tv/thesquirrelsnuts, hit follow, and when I go live, you'll know about it. And if it says I'm playing Euro Truck with Going East, then I'm probably going to be giving keys away. You see that over there, the trailer, the car trailer. What is this guy? Seriously, you're going to get me done for a ticket here. That car, I did uninstall the sports car pack. So that's a standard car pack. So obviously the trailer mod that I'm using, which, like I say, is quite big and very comprehensive. Look at that Schenker. Fantastic. I strongly suggest you go and get it. It is quite big, but it is pretty wonderful. And so yeah, anyway, Pavel, the Euro Truck live stream, if you didn't watch it, was a really good event. I mean, I had something like close to 3,000 people watching me at the start of it when Nico was in there. And then Twitch decided to screw me over. But they didn't just screw me over, they screwed everybody over on Twitch. For the first time since I can even remember, they reset all of their encoding servers, got rebooted, all of them, which kicked every single stream offline. Everybody went offline. When I came back, I lost about 1,000 viewers. Because what happened next was if you're watching on a mobile and you're watching in a sort of a low codec or a medium codec, you couldn't reconnect. The low codec went off. Then then that came back eventually, and the medium codec went off. It was just an absolute mess. So yeah, that kind of screwed things up a little bit, shall we say, for my live stream. Typical Twitch fashion, Twitchy as ever, but I did manage to keep about 1,800 people for most of the events, and that was great because a lot of people got to hear what Pavel had to say. And if you did miss it, I did put up videos, so you've got no excuse for wasting 2 hours of your life to hear all about Eurotruck and what their plans are for it. And I gotta say, it's great to hear that the SCS are going to be... Can't see anything coming. SCS are going to be keeping up with the support for Eurotruck whilst working on this thing called World of Trucks. And World of Trucks sounds great, but I'm really waiting for American Truck Simulator, which they're also working on. They do sound stretched, the guys. I didn't realise SCS was quite so small, I should say, really. I think it's an absolute bloody testament that they've managed to knock this game out and all the other trucking games they've got out. Amazing what they've managed to do with such a small team. And we're talking, when they built this game, we're talking the teams are between 10 and 20 people. I think they're now up to about 30 people. Which is just, it's tiny. For a software house, that is so small. But what they've done is just incredible. But Pavel was saying he could, he used to think that if he had 30 people, he could do loads of things, and now he's got 30 people. He wishes he had 60 people. But yeah, they're basically, they've got so many things they want to do. I mean, obviously, in the back of their mind is multiplayer. Everybody wants multiplayer, they know that. And they're going to try and take the game off in that kind of direction, step by step. So I think that's the only thing they can do, given their resources, is take the game piece by piece towards what we all want it to be. I think I better get some fuel. Which is, of course, what I described to him as, I essentially want the trucking version of EVE Online. Which is this kind of persistent, massively multiplayer, real-time trucking game. Where you can start corporations or trucking companies up. And, compete against other trucking companies. Other people driving the trucks for real kind of thing in the game. Not for real, I mean in the game, driving the trucks. That's what I meant. Didn't come out very well. Now, why am I on shifted on one then? That's pretty weird. But yeah, they realise that. And they're working on American Trucking Simulator, but they're going to focus, North America is absolutely bloody huge. And they've admitted, they cannot map it. I mean, it's going to take 5 years to map the whole of America at the rate they do things, with the resources they have. So they're going to focus on, I think, 1 or 2 states initially. And, come on, seriously? We don't have to be so dumb. Yes, I know there was a car coming, but, you know, by the time he had pulled away, it'd have been absolutely fine. So they're going to basically start engaging a lot more with the community, and by that they mean map authors and you guys, you know, because there's an awful lot of you guys out there who are real truckers or skilled in modding, or just very, very knowledgeable about the trucking world, or even about geography. And they're looking for people like that, so they're going to start building a sort of community hub where they can start reaching out to people and essentially get everybody to help. Everybody that wants to help, of course. Not everybody has the time or the inclination, but if you are of that inclination and knowledgeable about something in the trucking world or something that would expand this game, then they're going to basically start reaching out, and that will be your opportunity to step in, maybe model some stuff, or they do have very high standards, but at least provide information, you know, local information or trucking information, or, you know, if you know about the gear ratios of a DAF XF, you know, they're going to be asking questions like that because they don't have the in-house. They've learned a lot of the trucking world, but they don't have in-house every kind of knowledge that they could possibly have. And quite, you know, sometimes the manufacturers don't release that information easily, so they're going to reach out basically, which I think is a good thing, because they are, like I said, they're only a small company, and I think it makes a lot of sense to let people help them. And if you just look at something like ProMod, if that's the kind of standard of map making that you can get from a couple of guys in 7 or 8 months, then quite frankly, if they ever want to get North America, mapped out properly, they really are going to have to engage with the community. Oh, and I just got a speeding fence. Bastard. Excuse my French. So I think, you know, certainly Nico, who made, or was a co-author of ProMod, he has said that as soon as they make American Truck Simulator, he is going to start mapping parts of America, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. If you've not seen the SCS software blog of, look at this trailer. If you've not seen the SCS software blog of some of the North American trucks that are going into American Trucking Simulator, then you really should get over there and have a look. I just cannot wait for it. I mean, obviously I know European roads, British roads especially, and I'm very familiar with what they call cab-over. Let's move over there. Cab-over trucks, which is what these are, where the cab's over the top of the engine, hence the name cab-over. And in, you know, North America, they drive very different style trucks. I don't know quite what they call them. If they're not cab-overs, are they cab behind? I mean, I don't know, but you know what I mean. The kind of the American truck with the engine out the front, that kind of thing. There's loads of them, and I'm so looking forward to driving, because I really enjoyed my experience when I was playing with some of the mods. They're like the W900L and you know, the Kenworths and the Peterbilts, and just driving American trucks around Europe was great. But driving American trucks around America is going to be even better, and it's something I very much look forward to doing. So that's on its way. That's probably going to be next year at least, I think. One would hope. Oh, that's the other thing he said about American Truck Simulator, actually. They're not just going to develop it, finish it, and then release it. They're going to start doing what a lot of other software you might have noticed has started doing, which is early access stuff. So that will allow us to start playing American Truck Simulator, you know, perhaps 6, 9, maybe even 12 months earlier than we would do if we waited for the final game. And that is brilliant. If you think about that, particularly for mod authors, and let's face it, Eurotruck is as popular today as it ever was because of mods. They are what keep it interesting and alive and fresh. And mod authors, I salute you, I really do. You spend a lot of time just doing this stuff, and it makes everybody's life better. Obviously they do it for the love of it, because there's not really any money in doing mod authoring. But one of the things that, you know, releasing American Truck Simulator 2 early is going to do is straight away allow the mod authors to get in there and start modding, which means they could start making maps of North America that SCS are otherwise too busy to even attempt. they can start doing more trucks, more American trucks. It's just going to be fantastic. So as soon as American Truck Simulator comes out, it'll be like an early access type thing. I'm going to buy it straight away. Then I'm going to play it to death, and then I'm hoping all the mod authors are going to jump in there and start modding it up. Pavel did say that they're working on a much improved AI, and they've been working on it quite a while by the sound of it. I mean, certainly from my brief stint of AI programming when I was at university, many moons ago you might say, but when I was back at university doing computer science, and AI was one of the modules, I can tell you that AI programming is it's a law unto itself. I wouldn't say it's a black art, but it's a very kind of specialist subject, you might say. And for the guys down at SCS, just what are essentially just probably normal developers, getting stuck into AI it's got to be interesting and difficult in equal measure, I would have thought. But the fact they're obviously rewriting the AI because they realise that, you know, the cars that the AI cars that come onto the road, filtering is just pants. Quite honestly, they don't give way. They're actually going to start making the AI just function better, so that it does change lanes, so that they do give way. Speaking of the AI, and there's the cameras. I saw it too late. I was too busy focusing on whether that guy was braking and going to move over. That's 2 speeding tickets I've had. That's like nearly $1,000 in fines, which is another thing which I think needs addressing. It's just a bit too steep if you ask me, but hey ho. Maybe you'd argue otherwise. Maybe I should be slowing down. But the AI is obviously one of the weaknesses, and also one of the more, shall we say, entertaining stroke interesting aspects of Euro Truck. I mean, some of the more hilarious moments and more stressful moments I have had playing this game have been with the AI doing crazy things. So in some respects I'll be sorry to see that go, but in others it'll be a lot better. And they are going to make the AI function differently, so that you'll get different kinds of drivers. Some of them aggressive, some of them more passive, which is wonderful. Just having a kind of variety is going to make the game feel a bit richer, if you like, I think. So that's some of the other stuff. Now, you should be, like I say, you should be watching this video pretty much on release day. I plan to release it on September the 20th, which is release day of Going East DLC. Incidentally, a patch has come out for Euro Truck. That's 1.5.2 is the latest release. Remember, it was 1.4 series. You need 1.5 if you want to buy Going East. Now, 1.5 is a patch, so you don't need to pay for it. It's just a straightforward patch. If you use Steam, it'll come out automatically. You don't need to update it. If for whatever reason it doesn't update automatically, you can actually right click on it, do properties, and go to the one of the tabs along the top. I can't remember, it's near the end, and it basically says that, you know, you want to take part in some of the betas and stuff, you know, the early access type thing. So you can get it that way, you can kind of force it that way, but it should come out normally on September the 20th. If you don't use Steam, then I would argue that you're crazy, and you should probably get yourself the Steam key. It shouldn't cost you anything extra. Certainly if you get in touch with SCS, I'm sure they'll take your key and give you a Steam one. But, you know, quite often wherever you bought it from, you can get a Steam key, and it's just easier. It's just a lot easier to have Steam handle it. But if you want to if you don't want to use Steam, then you can just go and download the patch from the SCS website, the download section. Oh, you're kidding me. What the hell? I couldn't even see the traffic light. This is not going well. There's like over $1,000 in fines now. Red light and I'm a terrible driver, good grief. Too busy chinwagging, that's what it is. I should be focusing on the road a lot more. So you can anyway go and get the patch from the SCS website and patch your game. Don't go manually patching it if you've got the Steam version. That would probably be a path to pain. But there are some good little bits and pieces in the patch. They've fixed some of the truck interiors, which is obviously a nice thing. They've got several new cars apparently in the AI traffic. There are some new cars now. You Eagle-eyed people amongst you are probably better looking for that one. By the way, speaking of eagle eye, I think I might hang a right here and go and pick up a couple of these discovery points en route. I can see two actually. I think the one... Can you see them on the map down there, bottom right? I think we're going to pass a recruitment agency. I'm guessing the second one in the corner there is going to be a... what looks like a large truck dealer. So they've done a lot of little map tweaks, especially around Germany and Poland. Oh, you're not getting me on a red signal this time. Bloody game. Germany and Poland, apparently there's been a lot of little tweaks around there, so probably nothing major, just smooth things out. They've done something in the upgrade shop. They've improved it to do with add-ons and stuff. I'm not exactly sure what. Oh, look. A pedestrian. But she feels a bit lonely. Oh, there's another one. Bloody hell, that's two. So speaking of pedestrians, they've fixed some of the pedestrians disappearing. Now, if you look, we're actually in Warsaw, which is one of the biggest cities. Just look at this scenery. He says, almost driving into a vehicle. But we mustn't ignore the scenery because this is obviously the latest content. And I'm sure SCS are up to their usual very high standard. Let's just nip down here and hope I can do a quick U-turn. Maybe we should just go and have a quick look on the roof actually. Often see a bit better up here. Oh, it's a Majestic. Let's have a quick turn around inside, shall we? It's a Majestic truck dealer in Warsaw. Is that a Majestic? I don't think it is. What's that doing here? So one of the questions I did ask him, speaking of Majestic, I did ask him about Majestic and how are they going, because it is the only truck in this game that doesn't have the real name, if you like, the real company name. It is, of course, meant to be Mercedes-Benz, or Daimler Mercedes, as he likes to call it. There we go. Let's get out of here. We don't really late with this delivery, do we? It's DHL. It's probably got some very important parcels in the back. And DHL have a reputation to upkeep. So apparently you want to take a left turn, but I'm thinking straight on looks pretty... just as straightforward to me. Let's go straight on, just to be different and annoying. Part of me likes annoying these little sat-navs, making them recalculate their route, because they always start freaking out when you don't go the way you want them to. Like, turn left and you go straight on. Recalculating route. Turn around when possible. And it's kind of crap. I don't know about you, but I mean, sat-navs, they're useful. They really are useful. But they've got me into a pickle a number of times. Particularly when I was down in Cornwall. By the way, if you know the UK, you know what I'm talking about. But bottom left-hand corner, if you like, of England is Cornwall. That's the very pointy bit down the bottom left. And then next to that is Devon, and they are two very, very beautiful, very scenic counties. A lot of people go to Cornwall and Devon for holidays. But equally, they have a lot of what you might call country roads, like little kind of twisty, turny, overgrown bushes along the side kind of roads, and they occasionally have some insane roads which are just, they're pretty much a glorified dirt track. And in the height of summer, quite often they can be just totally overgrown, and you can only get one car down them, kind of thing. We're meant to be a two-car road, barely, but they're so overgrown you can only get one down them. And TomTom, many moons ago, took me a couple of times. I was in Cornwall on a holiday with my kids. It took me a couple of times down the wrong way, down a one-way dirt track. And of course, I'm in my kind of Ford Galaxy, like the big people carrier I had back then, and I couldn't turn around because this thing was just, literally, the hedges were scraping the side of the bloody truck, the car. Straight from the car to the car, and I just couldn't turn around. I had to go all the way down. I just floored it. I just thought, well, I can see what's coming, but quite frankly, the longer I stay here, the worse this is going to get, and the more risk that somebody's going to come the other way, and then we really are going to be in trouble. Because one of us is going to have to reverse, and it ain't going to be me. So yeah, this TomTom just took me the wrong way down a tiny road, and I just floored it all the way down there. What is that? Walter. There's a Scania pulling some kind of Walter trailer. I've never heard of that. Is that a name familiar to you? Speed cameras, 50. Oh, I'm not getting done for another one. That was a bit overkill on the brakes, wasn't it? Good grief. So yeah, I eventually made it to the bottom of that road and managed to get out unscathed, but for the wife sat in the passenger side, she was just clinging to her seat going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Just flooring it down this road. Oh dear. You could barely get a bicycle down there, never mind a Ford Galaxy. So yes, I do like annoying these sat-navs every now and again. Hey, Scania. It's a lovely sunny day in Going East territory, and how far have we got? 175 kilometres. So what else have they fixed in the patch? They fixed pedestrians disappearing. That was what I can't remember if I mentioned that back then. Did you see that trailer? That was cool. Just keep your eye out on these trailers, apart from the cars, because they're really boring. They fixed pedestrians disappearing, and I've actually commented on that a few times in videos. I think Man Up was definitely a video I remember, where I was watching a couple of pedestrians and they walked into a car park, walked along the length of the car park, and then vanished. Right in front of me. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. Let's have a look at this. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Of course, if you know Warsaw, you might even know where this is. I haven't got a clue, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to crash my truck whilst taking an outside view, which is not a normal thing that a truck driver does, take a third-person outside view of a truck. So this scenery... Look at this Hoya. Hoya. A lot of the fuel canisters, the fuel trailers I've noticed, have got some wicked paint schemes. They look really sexy. I shall leave a link in the description to this mod pack. It's actually on Modsaholic. You may have already got it. A lot of people were asking in my stream what it was, and I said, oh, when I put a video out, I'll put a link in there. I also wanted to test it a little bit more because literally before that big live stream, I just thought, right, what am I going to do? I want to make things interesting, so I'm going to grab a few mods. I slap them in there. I don't even know if they're going to work. They may even cause my game to crash midstream. So I was flying by the seat of my pants, but luckily in more recent versions of Eurotruck, it has become a lot more tolerant. Whoa, look at all these cows. A lot more tolerant of broken mods, you idiots. I knew who was going to do that. And certainly the game crashes a lot less frequently when I particularly when I use mods and remove them that have kind of left their mark on the save game file. It certainly seems to be a lot more stable, and I know that that's one of the things they're working towards, is just making the game... Scania. White one as well. Making it a lot more tolerant to mods going wrong, as it were. So I did want to test it a bit first, and I also wanted to make sure that ProMod and Going East and this mod pack that I'm using were all kind of working fine, and I wouldn't suddenly find myself go through a toll booth and all hell breaks loose, as it has done in the past. But I'm happy to report... Is that a plane? Are you kidding me? Why is there a plane in somebody's front garden? That looks like a farm. What on earth? Somebody explain what that's about. Is that some kind of historical aircraft museum? Because it just looked like somebody's farm, as if the farmer had gone, do you know what, I really love planes. Oh, you dick, what the hell? I really love planes, and I think what I'd like to do is, in my car park, is just buy a small jumbo jet. Well, not a jumbo jet, a small passenger aircraft, and stick it in the front there, paint it yellow. Or is there a reason for that I'm missing? Let's have a look where we are on the map, see if anybody actually knows. So we came out of Warsaw, and we're heading up towards, I'm not even going to try and say that. Yes, I am. Olsztyn. Olsztyn? So halfway up there, third way up there, on Route 7. There's an aircraft. Can anybody explain that? I'll be interested to hear your answers. So they've also fixed some of the driver logs. Now, I've definitely seen this one. You look at the... You know, if you go to your drivers... Oh, dear. Look at that. They just had a head-on. The AI doesn't know what to do, so it just stops like that. They have a kind of big face-off, and then when I drive off, the game just despawns them. Because the AI literally does not know how to sort that one out properly. Driver logs. If you click on your driver manager, and then you click on one of your drivers, there's a view the log. You can actually view the log for each driver, and it will tell you what journeys they've made, whether they've made any money, when they've lost any money. And looking at, looking at that in one of my early drivers, I noticed that she was just losing me money constantly. Like, she was never really making any money at all. And I ended up firing her. She was the only driver I've ever fired out of my trucking logistics. Squirrel Logistics, which is like, let me just... while we're talking about that, let me just bring this up while I'm talking about this, because you'll notice it is getting bigger. Look at all this. That's me, of course. Then we've got Tina down here. She's pretty well leveled up now, and if you click on this, which is the show log, you can see she's making like 16, 12 grand, and she's like 4 grand. So look at the distances she's covering. 1,800 kilometers. It's absolutely brilliant. Georgia, of course, another one of my more established drivers, so she's bringing money in. Katerina, Marianne, and then we start getting into some of the new ones, which I hired on the stream, I think. This one, she just looks like she's got out of jail. I mean, I don't know if she's actually... No, she's bringing money in. To be fair, I actually thought that she was going to steal most of my money, because she just looks like... Now this one, I think we said that she was most definitely lesbian. I think that was the thing we said. But she's bringing in the money. I can't knock it. And her, I think she's off CSI. She looks like she should be some kind of criminal investigation person. But anyway, I've managed to pay off... A brief interlude there. I've managed to pay off my bank loans now, and so I have 400 grand in the bank, and on the map I actually bought a garage, and I did this quite deliberately, here, down in Krakow. So just before Going East came out, what I did was I started saving money up, because I have a garage up here, and a garage over here. I've one in, not Felixstowe, is it Felixstowe? Crikey, I can't remember where my home port is. Yes, it is Felixstowe. I have one there, and I have one up in Stockholm. Garage up in Stockholm. Where's Stockholm? There it is. Here. So what I wanted was to get another garage down here. Now, my next job is to get one roughly around Strasbourg area. So I've got a good spread, because, as you probably know, you can click on your garage manager, click on your garage, and then click on quick travel, and that can be very useful. Because, you know, when I started making this video, I found myself where I was at the end of the stream. I was over in Germany. So I just quick travelled over to Krakow, which got me back into kind of Going East territory, and then I could just pick up a job over here and drive up this wonderful countryside. But otherwise, I would have had to spend all the time driving across the map. So that's what I'm doing. That's my basic strategy. Just looking at the scenery again. That's my basic strategy for when I buy garages, is I try to buy them strategic locations, kind of very spread out. Of course, I bought one in Stockholm, because that is very, very close to the Scania home, if you like. That's it. You should definitely bugger off. You go where I can't go. I can't go. I can't follow you, mate. Look at this water. Beautiful. What was I saying? So yeah, I've started buying garages very kind of spread out, strategic locations, because that way it makes it easier to just jump around the map. So if I want to, you know, if I look at my map and I think, oh, I've got some cities over there that are quite undiscovered, I wonder if I can jump nearby and then pick up a small job and go and discover that city. It kind of helps to flesh out the map and that kind of thing. But also it means, for me in particular, if I'm going to do a stream or I'm going to make a video, I can, if I want to, as I did in this video, just jump to somewhere roughly where I want to be and then pick up a job. And I'm not entirely sure why we're all stopped. Oh, now I've just found out why we're stopped. Wow. I'm doing some of the best driving ever in this video. About 1200's worth of fines. And I just overtook at a junction. To be fair, that guy was just parked up and then suddenly decided to move as I came past. But that was the AI. But no, I should never have done that. It kind of looked to me like they were just frozen, but they clearly weren't frozen. But I avoided a crash. My expert trucking skills, I completely avoided a crash. But that was... yeah. I know what's going to happen in the comments. I'm going to be like, tut tut squirrel. You're letting down the trucking community, you know, you're just driving trucks like it, you know, you're driving a go-kart. What the heck's going on here? Standards are dropping, you know. I know it's going to go. Don't be too harsh. I'm going to let him go. I'm not going to pull out on him. TNT? TNT trailer, anyone? Go on, mate. I'm going to let you go. I know you wouldn't let me go, but I'm going to let you go. Because I'm not like that. What else did they do? They apparently polished, in quotes, the automatic gearbox logic. So I don't use the automatic gearbox now, so you can probably confirm that better than me. I use the manual shifter. But now they've polished it up, so I don't know what that means. Does it mean it's smoother, more responsive, changes better, going up hills in particular? It doesn't do stupid things like suddenly change up a gear when you're going up a hill? I don't know. Play with it. Let me know. Leave some comments. What else have we got? The consumption gauge and pressure screen on the Scania dashboard. So, here's the dashboard. So what have they done? Ooh! Yes, they have indeed. The fuel consumption gauge... oh yeah, look, just underneath the rev counter. Can you see it? Where's the air pressure? I'm not a truck driver, so you guys are going to help. But if I put my foot down, can you see... where's the air pressure one? I'm probably going to crash doing this. Okay, so on here somewhere is an air pressure screen and a consumption gauge. I'm pretty certain the consumption gauge is underneath that rev counter. And underneath that, is that the air pressure? I think. I could be wrong about that. And there's little tweaks. Hazard warning made independent of the blinkers. You know, just minor stuff. There's also an option, if you go to settings, there's an option to turn off the rumble strip. I don't know about you. I left it on for so long thinking, nope, I'm going to miss the rumble strip. You know, if I'm hearing that noise, I shouldn't be on the rumble strip. That's my bad. I'm going to leave it on. I am definitely going to leave it on. They've given me an option to turn it off. First thing I've done, turn it off. I can't live with it. I just can't live with it. It's so annoying. So I've turned it off. Up to you whether you do so or not. Walmart, apparently. This is Walmart. This is where we're delivering our... in here. Now that could be part of my real company label stuff. May not be the trailer mod. And certainly probably didn't come with DLC. So... oh, I remember this. Exact delivery. I've made this before. I brought a... it was a train, I think. A gigantic trailer I brought here. And I didn't have enough room to reverse properly. And it took me a little while, and it was nighttime, and it was chucking it down rain. It was in the stream. And it was quite a difficult reverse, actually, but I managed to do it. Let's see if I can do a bit better with the normal trailer. This is DHL, isn't it? I'm just looking at the label. Yeah, it's definitely DHL. Right, let's straighten it up. And we should be good to go, I think. Should be more or less a straight reverse now. Yep. A little bit of left, a little bit of right. Bang on. That's bang on the money. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hopefully, yep, that's an excellent. 10 grand. You can see I managed to get level 27. I almost got level 27 during the stream, but it didn't quite happen. And let's turn the parking brake back off. So, this... Oh, look, Total, do you see? Total. You recognise Total? You should do. Let's turn the engine off. So, this has been a Going East, the first Going East video. Let's just get rid of that. Where did that trailer go? What the hell? That's a bit random. And yes, so if you've not got Going East, strongly suggest you get it. I don't see why you wouldn't want to increase the size of your map. But, as ever, I should be giving some keys away to Going East if you want to try and win one. Don't forget to get your game patched up to 1.52. Take care, guys, and until the next video, happy trucking.